Hi guys, you are watching Weekend Movie Channel, and these are 10 new movies released in 2023 that you can watch online right now. I hope everyone will find something new to watch, and if not, follow the links in the description below to other videos on this topic. You will probably find something new to watch. Locked In. A former movie star named Catherine gets into a car accident. Her entire body is immobile. All she has to do is blink her eyes. The nurse assigned to her tries to find out what really happened to the heroine. After all, it seems that someone tried to kill Catherine. Recalling the past, it turns out that the woman has a stepson, Jamie, who suffers from epilepsy. And at some point in her life came Lena, a young girl whose mother had passed away suddenly. Catherine takes her into her care, and soon a romantic relationship develops between Jamie and Lena. However, no one guesses what secrets the girl is hiding and what she really wants. The plot is a rather ordinary and predictable thriller, without expressive visuals and bright acting performances. The picture does not stand out much against the background of many similar films. However, fans of the genre may be interested in observing the relationships of the main characters, and then the movie is suitable for a one-time viewing. Sisu, 1944, Finland. Germany capitulates from the occupied territories of Europe, leaving behind a scorched field. Meanwhile, somewhere in Lapland, an unremarkable old man wanders with his rucksack full of gold. A passing platoon of Germans decides that the harmless old man is an ideal target for another robbery. Soon they learn that the old man is actually a real killing machine. From this moment begins a maelstrom, tinny and ultra-violence. Unusual action scenes, stylish setting and black humor. All this distinguishes this action film from most modern representatives of the genre. There is little dialogue in the movie, and the main character is silent for most of the story. The whole essence of a fairly simple plot is a fascinating action, which unfolds around the charismatic protagonist. The creators do not forget to dilute the dynamic scenes with ironic humor. This uncompromising original movie will suit everyone who likes frankly brutal action movies. Under Therapy. The events unfold around three married couples who do not know each other. They are invited to a group session of psychotherapy, which should help them deal with the problems and disagreements in their couples. However, instead of a meeting with a psychologist, 8 envelopes with unexpected and sometimes provocative questions await the heroes. Ahead of the participants expect arguments, comical situations, as well as frank confessions. Throughout the movie, the viewer will watch the development of a non-trivial psychological story full of unexpected twists and turns. At the expense of humorous scenes, the events acquire realism. Through them, the heroes are revealed from a new side. Of course, the film has enough dramatic scenes that can make the viewer empathize and sympathize. If you like unhurried chamber movies about relationships between men and women, you will definitely like this movie. Ballerina. In the past, Jang Wook-ju was a private bodyguard and got into dangerous situations more than once. When she decides to quit, she comes to visit her close friend Min-hee. Unexpectedly, Wook-ju learns that the girl committed suicide. She left a suicide note in which she asks her friend to punish the local gangster involved in her death. She discovers that Choi Pro is abusing women, filming it on camera and then selling the videos. She develops a plan and decides to get the bandit by any means and make him pay for the pain he caused. To do this, she will have to remember her old days. Speaking of the plot, it's a fairly simple revenge story in which Wook-ju uses all her skills to get justice. However, the way the story is presented on screen is of utmost importance, playing with light, camera movement, and unorthodox angles. All this creates a dark, lingering atmosphere. This picture is worth getting acquainted with for everyone who likes stylish driving action movies. The Baker. The story unfolds around an elderly baker named Papi Sabinski. He used to serve in the US Armed Forces, and now, having retired, periodically suffers from heavy memories. Life is slowly getting better. However, suddenly on the doorstep appears his son Peter. For many years they have not communicated because of family conflicts. Peter finds himself in a dangerous situation, and to protect his daughter Delphi, he gives her into the care of her father. The protagonist wants to save his family, and goes on a journey full of danger and risk. The heroes will have to travel a long way to take revenge on the offenders. The movie looks quite old-fashioned, but because of the fast-paced plot, it does not let you get bored while watching it. Despite the fact that the fight scenes lack the creativity inherent in modern action movies, the picture is still a good crime movie. Five Nights at Freddy's. Mike Schmidt is forced to work as a security guard at an abandoned children's entertainment center known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. One night, Mike falls asleep and sees his brother Garrett kidnapped by an unknown man. Time after time, the hero returns to the disturbing dreams, which grow new details. Mike suspects that mystical things are happening in this place. Based on a popular series of video games, the movie, even at the stage of production, managed to raise a storm of discussion on the internet. This adaptation does not focus on the scary scenes, but rather on Mike's heartbreak. Of course, the animatronics that were beloved around the world are still here, but you should not expect to see a 2-hour chase of mechanized puppets after the main character. Nevertheless, the movie has a light narrative and a dark atmosphere. Butcher's Crossing. 1874. Young Will Andrews gives up his studies at Harvard and goes to Kansas in search of real adventure. So he decides to go buffalo hunting. The hero has heard of stories that this is a great way to get rich, while using only his wit and gun. Will finds a mysterious hunter Miller, who promises him an unforgettable expedition if Will invests a large sum of money in their business. Putting everything on the line, the men embark on a dangerous journey. The picture is saturated with the color of that time. Elements of everyday life, attributes of clothing, as well as the natural pristine nature, all this enriches the visual and makes it extremely attractive. The authors skillfully recreated the atmosphere of a harsh male movie, where the main characters fight for their lives by all means. As a result, we get a good story about the survival of strong-minded people looking for answers to their difficult questions. The Equalizer 3. Italy. Against the backdrop of picturesque views, another crime takes place, which will be dealt with by former Special Agent Robert McCall. After being wounded, he is sent for treatment to the small village of Altamonte. Here, Robert gets acquainted with the locals and is slowly drawn into their problems. He learns that the Sicilian mafia collects money from people, and unable to watch them suffer, Robert challenges the gang leader Marco. Definitely, the new part is inferior to the previous movies in dynamics and action. Before us is the story of a man who is tired of troubles and wants to go to a well-deserved rest. However, the inner sense of justice does not let him do it. Nevertheless, the lack of frequent action scenes does not prevent you from enjoying the strong story and ingenuity of the reprisals that Denzel Washington's character commits. Pain Hustlers. Life as a single mom, Lisa Drake is far from easy. Money is barely enough to support herself and her daughter Phoebe. Therefore, she is forced to work in a bar. However, soon everything changes when the girl meets a low-success businessman named Pete Brenner. Seeing the potential in Lisa, he calls the heroine to the pharmaceutical company in which he himself works. The girl will have to save the business from bankruptcy. However, she does not yet know that she will soon find herself at the center of a criminal conspiracy. The picture raises a serious problem of the opioid crisis that swept America. The story centers around the strong and unscrupulous character of the protagonist played by Emily Blunt. Ultimately, this is a qualitative and tense film about the inner kitchen of the pharmaceutical industry, which sometimes has no humanity and morality. A Haunting in Venice. The legendary detective Hercule Poirot is retiring. It is time to enjoy a simple life. However, suddenly his peace is broken by an old friend, the writer Ariadne Oliver. She asks Poirot to help in an important case and invites him to a spiritualist séance. The purpose of the procedure, to summon the spirit of the deceased daughter of a famous opera singer. The hero agrees. However, during the session there is a mysterious murder, and now Poirot has to solve it. This film is another adaptation of the work of the great writer Agatha Christie, with the correction of some changes in the history and place of action. Now the events take place in Venice. The picture retains the spirit of the classic detective, using the usual elements of the narrative. The authors skillfully create an enchanting atmosphere of mysticism through not only plot twists, but also gloomy visuals. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.